It's time for the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Powerful and liberating business strategies you can start in 5 minutes or less. Now, here's your host, Dean Soto.
Hey, this is Dean Soto, founder of freedomin5minutes.com and prosulum.com, and we're here again with another Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast episode. Today's topic is this: creating an environment where your team loves you. That and more coming up. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Dean Soto with freedomin5minutes.com. I will be your pilot for today. We're going to be traveling at 10,000 feet, going up to 30,000 feet. Luna is on her way. Luna Meister just ran, what was that, like a quarter mile, Luna? Yeah, keep going, baby. Get that energy out. So, if you haven't subscribed, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, go to google.com. Go to google.com. Type in Freedom in 5 Minutes, Apple Podcasts, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts. If you go and do the same thing and type in Freedom in 5 Minutes, Spotify, you can subscribe on Spotify. If you do that and you type in Freedom in 5 Minutes, Stitcher Radio or Stitcher, you can subscribe on Stitcher. And there's a whole host of other places that I cannot list, and I will not list on this particular episode. So, so it's a really cool thing that has been showing over the last few days is that, one, I love my team. My team is amazing. And two, they love me. At least I think they do. They've been with me for years, so I hope they do. But one of the things that has been showing and has been kind of replicating in a lot of different clients is that when you build so when you build an environment, you know what, I'm going to change this up a bit. I was going to kind of lecture, but I'm going to actually just share a quick story. So I was a part of an organization, I still am in some respects, called Warrior. It was created by a guy named Garrett J. White. Amazing guy, really, really, really cool guy. That guy does a ton of stuff. Talk about high producer, guy's amazing. Super nice, always after the truth, and wanting to empower men to be good men, good husbands, and so on and so forth. So his organization, so when I first joined his organization, I was in a really bad place. It's funny when you no matter what, especially with men, if you're a woman listening to this, you'll get a little bit of an insight into how men think. And if you're a man listening to this, you might relate as well. I was in a place where financially we were doing well. We had just bought our dream house here in Central California. The house is very big, and we have 20 acres, and everything seemed to be going really, really well, right? I also had a bunch of different properties in different states, and things seemed to be going all right. But one of the things that kept on happening was I would go into sedation. I would, whether it be through video games or alcohol or anything like that, I would find myself just constantly doing that. And life started becoming very boring. And I started feeling this, like what, you know how you see these big rock stars, these huge rock stars, they end up dying of drug overdoses or different things like that. I ended up pretty much on that path. Now here, at least at the time, is a dad of 6, now going on 8, dad of 6 with the perfect house, the perfect wife, the perfect life, everything working out financially well, all of that jazz. And yet I'm crashing and burning, right? And I didn't know what to do. So, trust me, I'm totally religious. I love Jesus. I pray and I'm like, why am I doing this? Why is this happening? Right? I'm constantly like, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. And so one night I stumbled on one of Garrett's Facebook ads. And I'm like, this guy's totally resonating with me. This is interesting. I don't know if this would help at all, but it's definitely interesting. And so I ended up signing up for one of his things. It was like $100, and holy moly, I got a ton of value. But the value was not necessarily, I mean, it definitely was in the content. But one of the things that he set up was this community. He was using Facebook Workplace at the time, and I thought it was really powerful, but I think, I don't think he doesn't have that particular thing anymore. But he set up this community of people who were in my very similar situation, and the environment was one of being very honest and truthful, being very high producer, wanting to have the best for your family. Everything was based around having the best spiritual life. So, being the best Christian you can be, or the best, whatever you might end up being. In my case, I'm Christian, so that was my focus. Best father, husband, best fitness-wise. So like this morning, I did my workout routine and stuff like that. And the best, did I say best business? Yeah, so and best business-wise as well. So being a high producer, whether you're an entrepreneur or entrepreneur, right? And so this environment was one of people helping, same guys helping each other. And I've met some of my best friends through this particular organization, who we talk to. Every week I'm still talking to these folks and growing, right? And so this environment that was made was a self-regulating, self-motivating, self-inspiring environment where you were empowered to utilize the content, but to watch the content and everything like that, but more importantly, to utilize it with your brothers, right? To utilize it and actually use it, and you'd get kicked in the ass. I just almost said a bad word. I don't want to make this explicit. You get kicked in the butt if you didn't, right? And so while the content was great, the content itself is amazing, what was really, really valuable was the environment. What was really valuable were the other people who were on the same road, who were trying to help you, knowing that they would need help as well. So it was this constant push and pull, where you might be doing really, really well, and others need help. and you then might be sucking in a particular area, and others can help. Like one of my really, really good friends, he's a Pan Olympic weightlifter. Like he lifts like crazy amounts, and he helped me with getting ready for one of my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments. Just telling me what diet I should use and how I should cut weight and everything like that, which I had never done before. The way that everything was created and engineered was based on, if you want to be in this group, there are certain rules that you have to follow, certain rules that you have to do, okay? Certain things that you have to do on a regular basis. And it was through that I began to absolutely love being a part of this thing. I still do. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's life-changing. But it's not just because of the content. It's because of everything surrounding that. Okay? If it were just the content, it would be like, oh, that's really nice. I'll keep on trying and trying and trying. But no, when I know that I'm accountable, then, yeah, that's right. That's right. That was Honey yelling at me. Honey was a chicken or a hen, and we finally realized that Honey was not a hen. Honey is a dude. But it's the environment that was created that was extremely, extremely powerful, right? So why is this important? It's important because in your organization, the more that you can create an environment, and for example, the more that you can create an environment that self-regulates and makes it so people love to work with you and be with you, the better, okay? So for example, my guys wanted to hire an additional person for our main staff, our core team. And I said, I have made it necessary that anyone who is going to be on our main team, they have to be an executive assistant or an assistant to one of our guys for a certain period of time and be tested by our guys. They have to be tested. Like our guy, like my general manager or my account managers have to feel like this person can essentially go to war with them. Right? That it is not just a job. This is a culture and environment that requires you to have a certain personality, do certain things, and so on and so forth. And my guys love that. They know that two things. One, they know that they're a part of the elite portion of my business. So that's awesome. The people who want to be a part of that elite portion of my business realize that it's very hard to get into that elite status. And it allows my guys to know that they're protected. Like that they're not just this, I can replace you at any point in time, which, I mean, technically I could, but I don't want to because I've built such a huge relationship with these guys, and they're such a good, they're the engine of the business, and they do so well. They're amazing. And so when you develop an environment where your team loves you, your people love you for setting up rules and rituals, you'll find that work becomes easier, life becomes easier, tasks become easier, creativity becomes more and more possible the more that you do this. So what do you do? What do you have right now in your organization that is a structure that makes your team love you and love being there? I challenge you to set something up, start setting something up. If you don't have something now, it'll be a little bit hard to do, but if you stick with it, it will grow into something amazing. So it's Dean Soto. Go check out freedomin5minutes.com. Go check out prosulum.com, prosulum.com. We have a lot of really good stuff there. We have a masterclass. We have business process scorecard at freedomin5minutes.com. Also have a course at prosulum.com. that if you go and hover as if you were going to leave the site, which why would you ever want to leave the site? It'll pop up with a 4-video series course that is pretty amazing as well. So all that being said, this is Dean Soto, and I'll catch you on the next Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast episode.
Thanks for listening to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Now, head over to www.freedomin5minutes.com and register for our free masterclass and discover how to start systemizing and automating your entire business 5 minutes at a time. We'll see you next time on the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast.